Howdy, howdy, guys. Welcome back. Today we're jumping into geography. It might have been a minute since you've talked or even heard about geography, but geography is just kind of some basic facts about the world, facts that most people should know. So, I think these are important for all of us to know, not only for now, but for years to come. One day you could meet someone who tells you they're from Asia. And if you're not sure what that means, um, you might look kind of silly, right? Let's talk about our continents and our oceans. There are 7 continents, all right? Excuse me. There is North America, South America. There is Europe. There is Asia. There is Africa. There is Australia. And then the last one is Antarctica. Now you see there's an island right there. That island is a part of Europe, and this other big island is actually a part of North America. All right, so 7 continents. Hopefully that's easy to remember that there are 7 continents. The 5 oceans we'll talk about here in one second. Here are some pictures just quickly of some of those continents. We have an image from Africa here, I believe, and this appears to be an image from South America. The world recognizes that there are 5 oceans. There is the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic, and Southern. So your parents may know that there were 4. There used to be 4, but now they added another one. So one more time, Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic, and Southern. So Southern, where do you think that might be? In the south, right? Our Southern Ocean is right down here. Okay? Then we have our Indian Ocean, which is right here. So it's kind of easy to spot where the Indian Ocean is because there looks like there's a thumb pointing towards it. That almost looks like a thumb, right? Pointing down. All right, so that is the country of India. So we just look, find the thumb, and we go, okay, there's the Indian Ocean. Okay, over here we have the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California, Hawaii. The Pacific Ocean is known to be very cold. If you've ever been out to California and gotten in the water, you're aware it's pretty cold. Okay, so we have the Pacific, Southern, Indian. Okay, right here in the middle, we have the Atlantic. All right, the Atlantic separates North America from Europe, South America from Africa. And then at the very top, we have the Arctic. Okay, the Arctic is typically iced over. It's typically very cold. It's difficult to get ships through there. It's just a tough passage. So there are 5 oceans. We have the Southern in the south, Indian below India, Pacific off the coast of California, and we have the Atlantic in the middle, and at the very, very top we have the Arctic. Okay, so think of it this way. We have Antarctica. So think of Antarctica. So what's the opposite of Antarctica? It's going to be Arctic. Okay, so if you can figure out where Antarctica is, you can hopefully figure out where the Arctic is. Okay, Southern Ocean, that's just in the south. So some basic tools hopefully to help you remember where our oceans are at. All right, it's just a quick image of some sea life. So maps. Maps are an important tool for studying use of space on Earth. Map making depends on surveying or measuring and recording the features of the Earth's surface. You can still go into map making to this day. I forget the technical term for it, but you can major in it in college. You could get a job working for a company such as the USGS, the United States Geological Service. They employ thousands of people. They deal with maps a lot and geography and things like that. So there are several different types of maps and map features. Let's kind of get into that. So some quick map features that you'll see on almost any map is going to be a title. Okay, it's going to tell you what the map is about. Okay, so if you see a map of the United States, typically somewhere on the map you're going to see in bold letters United States of America. So there's your title. It's also going to give you kind of a key to tell you where all your symbols, what they mean. You've seen maps where there's like a little star, right? And that means it's the capital of that country or state. Okay, we have labels. Colors sometimes mean different things. Compass rose, when we think of a compass, you think of north, south, east, west, right? We have a scale. You'll see like almost a miniature ruler that might say this is, this inch represents 1 mile, whatever that might be. And that's kind of giving you an idea of the scale. Okay. Legend, sometimes that's just called the map key, and that's where you can typically find all your map information. There are two different types of maps. There are physical maps and political maps. Political maps are man-made. Physical maps are what the Earth essentially has given us. It's the physical layout of the Earth. So here on the right, you can see a physical map of the United States. We have mountains. You may see some rivers, some more mountains. It's what the Earth gave us. That's our physical map. On the left, we have a political map. So man created these lines to represent states. Okay, the Earth did not create those lines. Okay, man did, and we put it on top of that. So political, typically man-made. Physical, it's what the Earth gave us. There are many different types of political maps. There are many different types of physical maps. It just depends on what we're talking about. But that's just a quick way to hopefully remember that stuff. Okay, quick quiz there for you. All right, latitude and longitude. These both might seem silly, but if you ever join the military, you need to know your latitude and longitude. Latitude and longitude also can help you figure out where places are located in the world. Longitude lines are imaginary lines that run north to south. They show distance in degrees east or west of the prime meridian. And the prime meridian is right there. The prime meridian is a longitude line that runs from the North Pole to the South Pole. Okay, it is known as 0 degrees. Okay, prime meridian runs up and down. Latitude lines. A quick way to remember latitude lines is just a little phrase that lat is flat. All right, say it one more time. Say it with me, guys. Lat is flat. Let's say it one more time. Lat is flat. So latitude lines are flat. Okay, they're not running up and down. They are flat. They run east to west around the globe. Okay, so we have the prime meridian and we also have the equator. The equator cuts through the middle of the Earth. It is a latitude line. It is 0 degrees latitude. All right, so what does that look like? Here we have the equator right here. You see that it is 0 degrees. The equator is one of the closest points to the sun, essentially. And I don't really have time to explain why that is, but the closer you get to the equator, the warmer it typically gets. You guys notice the further north we go, the colder it gets. The further south of the equator, the colder it gets till we get to Antarctica, right? So our latitude lines, we have 0, and then it goes up. Okay, it's going up, and then it's going into negative numbers, going south. Okay, so equator is right there. Latitude lines are flat. Okay, we have our prime meridian right here. Okay, it runs through a sliver of England over here, part of Spain, part of Africa, and into the ocean. And then from there, we have longitude lines. Longitude lines run up and down. Okay, we also have a hemisphere. We need to learn about that real quick. A hemisphere is a word for half the globe. So if I say the northern hemisphere, I'm talking about the northern half of the globe. If I say the southern hemisphere, I'm talking about the bottom part of the world, globe. The globe can be divided into a northern and southern hemisphere separated by the equator, or you could divide it by the eastern and western hemispheres separated by the prime meridian. Okay, so if I say my southern hemisphere, I'm talking about everything below the equator here. If I say the northern hemisphere, I'm talking about everything north of the equator. You know, if I say west of the prime meridian, I'm talking about everything over here. East of the prime meridian, we're talking about everything over here. So latitude lines would be this line here, the equator. We have this other flat line here. That's the latitude line. Another flat line there. That's another latitude line, and then all the lines running up and down those are longitude lines. And we are going to be doing an activity in class dealing with finding locations using latitude and longitude. Because by using latitude and longitude, you can pinpoint the exact location you are in the world. Okay, you could tell someone you're at 38 degrees, 0.00 by 90 degrees, 0.00, and they're going to know. If they type it in, they'll know exactly where you're at. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. All right, so these are some basic map facts. These are some things we will need to know for the rest of the year. You need to know there are 5 oceans, there are 7 continents, latitude lines, longitude lines, prime meridian, equator, basic map facts that you should be able to find on almost any map, such as a compass, legend, scale. We have different types of maps, political and physical, and then you have your northern, southern, eastern, western hemispheres. All right, guys, have a good day.